Good day everyone, I am Rizali Pasinio and today I will tackle about the information age. So in which this is the modern age regarding this time in which information has become commodity, till as quickly and widely disseminated and easily available, especially through the use of computer technology. So meaning to say, this is the time or period wherein information is very accessible and very convenient to have. So at the end of this lesson, I will be able to discuss the information age, outline the story of information age, the birth of social media, and the information anxiety. So first, let's define what is information. So information is a knowledge communicated or obtained concerning a specific fact or circumstance. So a facts provided or learned about something or someone. So it means information can be something sa tao or bagay, but the most important, the information, it should be truth. So telling the truth, so kailangan this is tinuod. Tinuod nga naitabo in an event or in a person, and that is what we call information. Information age. A period starting in the last quarter of the 20th century, information became effortlessly accessible through the publication and through the management of informations by computers and computer networks. So when we are talking about information age, so dapat nato mandan, this is not all talking about computers, but also everything that is bringing information in a book, newspapers, or magazines, even in social medias, and television, radio, so anything. Any form na bagay. So as long as it is giving information to us, that is information age. So, and also, there are two other terms for the information age, and these are the digital age and the new age. The information age is a true new age based upon the interconnection of computers via telecommunications, with these information systems operating on both a real-time and as needed basis. So furthermore, the primary factors driving this new age forward are convenience and user friendliness, which in turn create user dependence. So, meaning to say, since you are living with cell phone, computers, and anything na gadgets that we have, so ang result ani, so kita tanan, we are being dependent with these gadgets. Kay anytime, anywhere, pwede rin nato sila magamit kay in just one click and a button, or when we are going a research, the Google will provided us the answers. So tungod ato, very convenient and user-friendly. And the reason why we're always nakadependent sa ila. The birth of social media. So in 550 BC, primeval form of postal service. So the primeval form, mao ni siya ang hinay nga pag-transfer sa information from one person to another person, kay ang actually it happens through the existence of the postal services. So the reason why they called as the postal services, and nasa tas ang gitawag na postal code, so those are actually the different numbers or different types of locations if we're not to makita or mabutang ang mga letters. So I'm giving an example. So our location is in Ahagonoy. It is 3002 in San Jose del Monte. So it means ang postal codes or ang postal services mo to ang code or number in where your letter dito ihatod. So and all of these postal services, sila ay para sa structure that you are actually placing there, the different letters that related to you. So if ang postal code kay ninyo is naa siya sang one center or of postage, So this is where the place na wala sang internet connection and diri ninyo siya i-claim or pangitaon if na by letter na provided para sa inyo. So unlike sa career services nga in which itagbalay gid ni siya kung naay magpadala sa inyo, yatod gid na siya sa tagbalay. So ang nakalain ani sa postal services is each individual moadto ni didto sa specific building in which the postal code didto ihatod. So mao ni ang significant. In 1865, pneumatic post. So, a system who use a tube with air pressure para madali na or may padala ang letters or messages within a city. So, example of this is the offices or the buildings. 1890, telephone. So, this is where developed the existence of the telecommunication, starting the existence of the telephone. But take note, si Sir Alexander Graham Bell is not the only person invented the telephones. So, siya ang una nakabuhat og patent the creation for the actual telephone. That's why siya ang una na naibawan. But there are still some individuals who started create a telephone as well. 1891 radio, and in 1972 the telegraph. So actually the telegraph came earlier than some of these, but by 1972 it was still widely used. So gumagamit ito ng electrical signals to send short messages. Information anxiety. While because of too much dependent in information, this is negative for us, the information anxiety. Human cost of information overload. In the words of Richard Saul Wurman, author of the book Information Anxiety, it is produced by the ever-widening gap between that we understand and what we think we should understand. Because of the too much information available in the supermarket or in the surroundings, makakuan ta og overload the information. We don't know if it is true, kay lagi dagan na sa mga invento nga mga informations. So we don't know if it is good or reliable. It is the black hole between date and knowledge, and what happens when information doesn't tell us what we want or need to know. Because of information that surrounded us, naatas sang information na naibawan, and there's a things that we don't know yet. And what happened? So mao to, nasa mga information na natakluban na if natakluban na ang kuan, if unsa ang tinuod gayud na kuan informations, and that's why it is we called information anxiety. And that's all in my part, which is the information age, and the next topic it will be discussing by my co-reporter.
Hello, good afternoon. I am Sheena T. Gregorio, and I'll be discussing chapter 4, specifically information age, but our topic is specific issues in science, technology, and society. So, on the 1990s, information became a valuable business asset used for decision making and innovation. So, information is now mass-produced commodity accessible to everyone. So, motto siya accessible to everyone na, but also it is overwhelming. Despite differing views on its evolution, information remains an essential tool that continuously improves human life and drives progress. So, kani siya, ang iyang gimin ani is, ang information now is business asset na kayo siya. So, like for example, sa businessman, no? So, ang ilahang kuan is, marketing strategy nila is through online na gyud, because everyone is using na social media as a kanang platform wherein you can learn and you can kuan na lang gyud kanang search na lang gyud for any information that you like. So that's it. So and next is emerging fields. So the information age has emerged disciples such as AI. So emerge na siya. So from before is kuan lang siya. So let's see ha. So maghatag og example na. So sa kuan siya, merging disciples niya. Example is AI-powered robots used in manufacturing, merging AI, robotics, and automation. Kaning AI kay gamit gid kay ni nato, no? Estudyante, teachers, everyone working in the office or everywhere, gamit jud kay si AI. So, marasag kanang it made our work ba much easier, no? Kay like mag-search lang ka, so si AI na mubuhatanan. But then you need to read lang sad gyud kay nasa siya disadvantages. Si AI has also disadvantages, no? Kay tungod nga iyan ang ihatag nimo tanan. Basin mag dili na sad nimo basahon ba, so naa siya kuan naasid siya disadvantage nga errors ba, kay not everything nga ihatag ni AI is accurate yun. So still you need to search, read it thoroughly if sakto na ang iyang mga gipanghatag nimo nga information. And then blockchain. So blockchain is also an emerging field of information technology. For example, no, blockchain is used in finance for cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. So, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin nga makakita na kaana siya online ng mga platform sad nga kanang magkuan ka online mga sa finance. And then next is security measures, no? Tungod kay readily available na ang mga information online, the growth of information use has led to a rise of cybersecurity and data privacy laws to protect us, no, to protect digital identities. So like for example Facebook, so tungod kay open available ra gid kaayo ang atong mga information didto. So naa nag-rise of cybersecurity sad wherein ato siyang itag sa atong emails, itag nato sa atong phone numbers kay para dili siya ma-hack, kay daghan na sad kaayog scammers. Aning tungod sa available ra dayon ang atong mga information, no? So daghan na kaayo siya scam. So to protect us, there are privacy laws to protect digital identities. So next, lastly would be the importance, no, of information age. The importance really is, despite the different views on its evolution, so lain gid og views sa evolution sa kuan, may it be bad or good, the information age remains vital to improving human life and progress. So ang kuan lang gyud sa information age is that it will make our life easier ba, and it will make our society nga mo progress siya. So not like before na kaning wala ni siya, so dugay jud kaayo like ang mga processes like in accounting for example, ang process niya is mas simpler na today kay tungod kay kanang naka-systemize na everything. So I think that will be all. Thank you, and I will give you to our next reporter. So that's it. Thank you so much, everyone.
Good day everyone, I am Nikki Estrada, and now we will talk all about the emergence of fake news. So today's information age, or what we call modern age or modern era, fake news is everywhere. and still continue to circulate throughout various forms, print media man or non-print media. And the question is why? Why? Nga nang daghan kaayo fake news ron? So Pew Research Center show that people under 30, online news is becoming more popular than TV news. So tungod sa technological advancement nato, most of the people are getting their news from social media. It is because, in my perspective, kay time saving siya. Like, for example, like, nanakay needed nga information jud on time. Tas mag-scroll ra ka or mag-search ra ka kalit or mag-search lang jud ka kay daghan na kayo ang magawas and daghan na pud kag makita nga information nga imong mabasa or makuha sa imong tupag sa imong pangutana. So next is, so here pud di ay makita nimo ang advantage and disadvantage sa um, advancement sa technology. Next is people under 50 get half of their news online and the rest on TV. So as what we've observed or as what I've observed kay gamay na lang jud ang tawo nga mutan-aw og television, especially news sa TV. If naaman guro no kadalasan na nagtanaw nila is TV shows. Nya, ang uban pud kay di na jud sila magtan-aw kay na may YouTube dito na lang sila tan-aw, dito na lang sila magtanaw sa mga videos or mga TV shows nga makita man sad unta sa TV. But ila ra nang gi-choose nga sa YouTube or sa other platform. Next is one more factor that contributes to rapid disseminations of fake news is confirmation bias. People tend to accept information that confirms their beliefs and opinion. So, if tugma gani ang information sa ato ang beliefs and opinions sa usa ka butang, kay kasagaran jud nato no kay ato jud siyang i-spread na wala na ay same og opinion and beliefs sa ako siya mo siya pleasure gani nga atong makuha if kato nga information kay tugma sa ato ang atong perspective ug sa atong perspective, opinion or beliefs bisag dili ta sure nga sakto ba di ay to or dili. And now, for us to terminate of spreading fake news, we will proceed to our next topic, which is how to spot fake news. How to spot fake news? It is necessary to be guided and guarded from the ignorance and damage that can be brought about misinformation. So Nagler C. 2017 of Harvard Divisions of Continuing Education provide three steps that can help us to spot fake news. The first one is vet the publisher's credibility. So before ta motuo sa information nga atong makita, we need to check the credibility of the author. And there are 4 questions to guide us. The first one, will the publishing site meet the academic citation standards? So this question assesses the credibility and reliability of the source. Academic citation standards required evidence-based information, proper distributions, and transparency about the source. So the next one is, what is the domain name? Checking the domain name helps to verify the legitimacy and authenticity of the source. The third one is, what is the publication's point of view? So, if we understand the publication's perspective or bias, it is crucial in evaluating the information. It is because recognizing the viewpoint helps you to contextualize the informations and consider alternative perspective. So, last question is, who is the author? Knowing the author allows reader to assess the credibility and expertise of the person providing the information. So the second step is pay attention to quality and timeliness. First one, notice spelling errors and dramatic punctuations from the article. So this can indicate a lack of professionalism and attention to detail. The next one is check if the story is current or recycled, because a lot of fake news often reuse old stories to present them as a new, and also and create a false narrative about the old story. So mura siya balik ko na nilang old story niya, bag-ohon nila ang istorya nga tugma ra pud, nga mga tugma ra gani sa kuan sa gamay nga tugma ra sa before para dili kayo halata may nga na ba. So the third one is check the sources and citations. Here there are 5 guided questions, so we can check the sources and citations. The first one is, how did you find the article? So if sa social media man or sa mga platform man, hindi mo nakita ang article, so the library databases can be used for confirming the credibility of information presented in an article. So the second question and the third question is, who is or is not quoted and what do they say? Is the information available on other sites? A reliable article is usually quoted and posted on other websites. By checking cited sources, you can confirm that the information presented has been accurately applied and not modified to satisfy the author's point of view. And the last question is, can you perform reverse researches and images? So take note that images should also be taken into consideration, especially if they seem edited just to confirm the just to confirm to the concept suggested in the article or story. So that's the 3 steps that we need to check to spot a fake news. And the conclusion of this topic is, think before you share, fact check and be aware. Fake news can spread fast and hurt even faster. And that's all for my part. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Leslie Marie Valiente, and today I'll be discussing biodiversity and a healthy society. First, let's understand what biodiversity means. Biodiversity refers to the variety and richness of life on Earth. All living things like bacteria, plants, animals, and even humans. There are around 87 million species of plants and animals on our planet, but only about 12 million have been properly identified and named. This means that there are still millions of species waiting to be discovered. Now, let's talk about evolution. Evolution helps living things develop traits that make them survive and grow in their environment. Because of these traits, species become different from one another. Those that can reproduce with each other belong to the same species, while those that cannot are from the different ones. There are so many things to explore about biodiversity. Some places around the world are called hotspots, which are areas with high biodiversity, meaning many unique species live there. Endemic species are those that can only be found in one specific place, usually in these hotspots. Scientists continue to study and classify different species of organisms to understand their rules in nature and their benefits to society. Each ecosystem, whether it's forest, grassland, river, lake, or ocean, has its own unique living things that work together to keep the ecosystem healthy. For example, Producers, consumers, and decomposers all have important roles. Decomposers like bacteria break down waste materials and dead organisms, turning them into nutrients that help plants grow. Humans also depend on biodiversity for food, medicine, clothing, shelter, and livelihood. However, biodiversity is now in danger because of human activities. This includes deforestation, pollution, soil erosion, kaingin farming, conversion of forests to industrial lands, and climate change. These actions cause many species to lose their homes and even become extinct. Scientists even estimate that half of all species on Earth could disappear within the next century if we don't act. That's why preservation and conservation are very important. We need to protect the remaining species in their habitats. Taking care of biodiversity is not just for us today but also for future generations. The future of life on Earth truly depends on how we care for nature now. In this lesson, we also learned how biodiversity is connected to a healthy society. A healthy environment means healthy people because when ecosystems are balanced, we have clean air, water, food, and medicine. When biodiversity is destroyed, it also affects human health and our way of living. Lastly, the COVID-19 pandemic has reminded us of how important it is to have a balanced relationship with nature. When humans destroy natural habitats, we disturb the balance of ecosystem and increase the risk of disease spreading from animals to humans. So we must learn to respect and protect all forms of life. In summary, we should develop the values of loving, caring, and helping protect biodiversity, especially here in the Philippines. Protecting biodiversity means protecting life itself. Thank you.
Okay, so hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Geneva Villar, and today I will be presenting to you my topic, which is the biodiversity and the healthy society. First, let's have the learning objectives. So, at the end of this lesson, students are expected to describe biodiversity and its components, discuss how biodiversity affects the health of society, cite factors and activities that destroy biodiversity, design a program that can help restore and sustain biodiverse resources of the country, explain the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the Philippines biodiversity, and lastly, to develop values of loving, caring, and helping protect the Philippine biodiversity. So when we hear the word biodiversity, what what is that? What does exactly mean? What does exactly mean by biodiversity? So, biodiversity it comprises all living forms that we see around us. It refers to the richness and variety of life forms on Earth. So everything we see alive on Earth is part of biodiversity. When we say everything, it means all living organisms like plants, animals, fungi, bacteria, and microorganisms. These also include their genetic material and the ecosystem they live in. Biodiversity is essential for sustaining human health, economic stability, and environmental balance. Loss of biodiversity can lead to reduced food security, increased disease risk, and long-term environmental degradation. So the components of environment are in danger because of these um, destructive activities of humans. This includes deforestation, pollution, soil erosion, kaingin farming, conversion of forest lands into industrial purposes, and climate change. So we should protect biodiversity because it underpins essential ecosystem services like clean air, water, and soil fertility, supports food and medicine security, and provides economic, cultural, and aesthetic value. Biodiverse ecosystems are more resilient to environmental changes and disturbances, ensuring long term sustainability for human societies and all life on Earth. Protecting biodiversity is not only an ethical responsibility but also crucial for maintaining the health of our planet and securing a stable future for generations to come. Without it, we are nothing. So I hope that's clear. So, health is our most essential right. Why? Because it is the foundation of all other rights and freedoms. Without health, individuals cannot work, learn, participate in society, or enjoy life. It enables personal development, economic productivity, and social stability. Health also ensures the ability to make informed choices, contribute to the community, and protect future generations. Ultimately, health is the prerequisite for dignity, autonomy, and the fulfillment of human potential. Therefore, health is a reliable indicator for the country's sustainable development. The health of people affects economic flow and growth. So, how does biodiversity affects our health? So as you can see in your books, there are several factors in how biodiversity affects human health. First one is biodiversity helps secure food, health, and livelihood for people. For food security, biodiversity provides a wide variety of plant and animal species that are essential for food production. It supports pollinators like bees and butterflies, which are critical for the production of many food crops. It also ensures genetic diversity in crops and livestock, which enhances resilience to pests, diseases, and climate change. For health benefits, biodiverse ecosystems contribute to clean air, water, and soil, which are essential for human health. They also provide natural medicines derived from plants and animals. Additionally, exposure to nature has been linked to improve mental health and reduce stress. For livelihoods, many communities rely on biodiversity for their livelihoods through activities such as farming, fishing, and forestry. Biodiversity supports sustainable resource use, ensuring long term economic stability and food security for millions of people, especially in rural and indigenous communities. Second, biodiversity serves as a rich source of materials for medical research. It provides diverse genetic resources, natural compounds used in drugs, and political and potential for new discoveries. Sorry. It supports sustainable innovation and offers insights into ecological adaptations, aiding in the development for treatments for diseases. Some organisms of interest in research includes horseshoe crabs, bears, sharks, and cetaceans. Mo din ni siya dagway sa horseshoe crab kung nakakita na ba mo ani niya. Ang color ani niya sa ayang dugo is blue. Yes, blue. Their blue blood contains a compound used in medical testing to detect bacterial contamination in pharmaceuticals and medical devices. Also bears also. They are keystone species in many ecosystems, helping with seed dispersal and nutrient cycling. Sharks, as apex predators, they help maintain the balance of marine ecosystems. Their tissue and organs have also been studied for medical research, including anticoagulants and cancer treatments. And kanisang mga cetaceans, like cetaceans are kung ano siya, mga marine mammals, like whales, dolphins, kani orcas. They are vital to ocean health, contributing to nutrient cycling and maintaining marine biodiversity. So let's proceed to number 3. Biodiversity provides abundant resources for traditional and modern medicine. So there are still a lot of people who rely on traditional medicine like plants, animals, and microorganisms for maintaining their health. Modern drugs are also derived from natural products including painkillers, drugs, against cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and cancer. Number four, biodiversity helps in the control and prevention of infectious diseases. Destruction of biodiversity contributes to the emergence and transmission of infectious diseases not only in humans, but also in animals and plants. Disease outbreaks due to SARS or severe acute respiratory syndrome, avian influenza, malaria, Ebola, Marburg, and hantavirus pulmonary syndrome have been accounted to human-induced abuse of biodiversity. Just like also what happened during the COVID-19 pandemic, which had a significant and multifaceted impact on biodiversity in the Philippines, both directly and indirectly. The COVID-19 pandemic had mixed effects on the Philippines' biodiversity. So while lockdowns temporarily reduced pollution and boosted wildlife activity, the economic downturn led to increased illegal logging, poaching, and overfishing. Conservation efforts were also disrupted, and existing environmental pressures worsened, raising concerns about future zoonotic diseases. Overall, the long term impact was largely negative, highlighting the need for stronger environmental protection. So, number five, biodiversity serves important roles for the community's cultural, spiritual, and social growth. Because it shapes cultural identity through traditional costumes, arts, and language, and has spiritual importance as a source of wisdom and a link to the divine. Biodiversity is essential to the cultural, spiritual, and social developments of society. By strengthening intergenerational knowledge and encouraging shared care of natural resources, it promotes social cohesiveness and maintains cultural continuity. Furthermore, biodiversity fosters ecotourism and cultural heritage, which in turn creates economic opportunities that promote social progress and the welfare of communities. In this sense, biodiversity is essential to human culture and social existence, in addition to being an ecological resource. Biodiversity conservation is very important for climate change adaptation. Number six, biodiversity conservation is very important for climate change adaptation. Conserving biodiversity is crucial for adapting to climate change, as diverse ecosystems exhibit greater resilience and are more capable of enduring and rebounding from climate change effects. Biodiversity enhances climate adaptation through the preservation of ecosystem services like carbon storage, water management, and soil health, which aid in mitigating environmental stress. Varied plant and animal species can offer more reliable food and resource availability, improving the capacity of communities to adapt to changing circumstances. Moreover, biodiversity fosters the establishment of climate resilient agricultural and forestry systems, crucial for food security and livelihoods also. Maintaining genetic diversity allows us to keep the possibility for future advancement in agriculture, medicine, and environmental stewardship. Essentially, protecting biodiversity enhances the natural systems that allow communities to respond to and lessen the impacts of climate change. And lastly, stable and sustainable ecosystems support relief and recovery efforts. So stable and sustaining ecosystems aid relief and recovery initiatives by supplying vital resources, preserving environmental resilience, and improving community health. Healthy ecosystems provide clean water, productive oil, and air, essential for supporting human populations during and following crisis. They further aid in climate regulations and diminish the effects of natural disasters like floods and landslides by soaking up surplus waters and stabilizing terrains. Sustainable ecosystems enhance food security by preserving productive farmland and fisheries, guaranteeing that communities receive nutrition during recovery periods. They also offer means of subsistence through endeavors such as agriculture, fishing, and ecotourism, which can be essential for economic rejuvenation. By maintaining biodiversity and ecosystem services, communities are more prepared and endure shocks and recover more effectively when confronted with disasters or prolonged challenges. So, in conclusion, biodiversity is essential for maintaining ecological balance, supporting human well being, and enhancing resilience to environmental and health challenges. It plays a critical role in climate change adaptation, disease prevention, and the cultural, social, and economic development of communities. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on biodiversity in the Philippines underscores the vulnerability of ecosystems to human activities and the urgent need for sustainable practices and conservation efforts. Protecting biodiversity is not just an environmental goal, it is the key strategy for building a healthier, more resilient, and sustainable future for all. Okay, so once again, my name is Geneva Villar, and that would be all for my report today. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening.